The Jamaica Gleaner letters to the editor for July 21st, 2025, and our first letter to the editor written by Bernie Smith, and that is titled Riddle Wrapped in Mystery Inside an Enigma. At the beginning of the Second World War, Winston Churchill described the actions of Russia as, and I quote, a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma, describing something extremely difficult to understand or explain. That famous phrase could be used today when referring to the behavior of Israel, a small country in both size and population that is synonymous with death and destruction in the Middle East ever since its declaration as a state in 1948. So many religions and ethnicities are intertwined and constantly clashing with each other, amid so many sanctimonious myths, fake news, and downright lies circulating from all concerned. Western governments steadfastly affirm Israel's right to defend itself, believing that the war in Gaza that has destroyed the Palestinian enclave and so many thousands of its people with American-supplied weaponry is because Hamas fighters killed Israeli citizens living in neighboring kibbutz and took prisoners on October 7, 2023. Those governments often deny the inconvenient truth that the Levant region has been a festering morass of religious hatred and tribalism for thousands of years, with one holy war after another. A three-part documentary entitled The Big Picture: How Israel Won the West, produced by Jewish academics with extensive archival footage and is available online. This 90-minute production may allow a few beams of light into the dark spaces of a closed mind, even as the latest headlines are that Israel has bombed Damascus on the pretext of defending Druze citizens being mistreated by the new Syrian regime. These are less than 1 million Druze spread between Israel, Syria, and Lebanon, their religion incorporating elements of Islamism, Christianity, Hinduism, and other beliefs, worshipping many prophets including Jesus, Muhammad, Moses, and others. Their most respected prophet is Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses. Jews support Israel against fellow Arabs and serve with distinction in the Israeli Defense Force. A couple of days after the Damascus attack, Israel bombed the only Catholic church in Gaza, killing 3 elderly people sheltering there, wounding the parish priest and several others. Silver-tongued and slick-talking Prime Minister Netanyahu reportedly told a protesting President Trump that it was a mistake, saying it was caused by stray ammunition. Another obvious mistruth, playing the president like the proverbial fiddle as the tails wag the doll again. So very typical of the riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. I am Bernie Smith. Our second letter to the editor, written by anonymously a concerned resident of Discovery Bay, and the title of this resident's letter is Loud Vehicles Creating Nuisance in Discovery Bay. I am writing to bring attention to the Motor Vehicle Noise Abatement Act, which is being increasingly and blatantly ignored. Ask the people who live close to the road and wherever there are steep inclines requiring engine compression about these bestial sounds that are currently tormenting us. This letter is a plea to the police and the government to act on behalf of our people who need to sleep, people who have aged and infirm citizens to care for in the home, people who suffer broken windows or doors from the bestial sounds, and people who suffer from headaches and hearing ailments as a result of the absolutely brutality that has taken over the roadways. The law says that no person should be allowed to modify the exhaust system of a motor vehicle or remove any other noise abatement device in such a manner that the noise is disturbing. Yet the perpetrators are allowed to do so and drive by police stations, churches, hospitals, schools, residential areas while terrorizing whole communities. Surely it should not be too difficult for the police to prosecute and seize vehicles from these road abusers who continue to give us hell as they remove mufflers and blast us with their heavy foot change down gear movements. The reign of terror carries on day and night and has now reached the point where it is instilling fear and trembling into the lives of innocent citizens who live near the roadway. The situation is exacerbated by the reverberation of the sounds against those extra high private property walls that are being illegally constructed along the North Coast Highway. We applaud the police on the good work being done to reduce crime and ask that immediate attention be given to this matter before it drives us all mad. And that goes as well for the sound system operators who are getting ready to deafen us during the coming emancipation holidays. I am a concerned resident of Discovery Bay. And our final letter to the editor for July 21st, which is a letter of the day actually, written by Conley Salmon, and it is entitled Exercise Caution in Regulating Informal Tourism Sector. As the government of Jamaica is considering registering short-term rentals such as Airbnb, special care must be taken, particularly when it comes to smaller operators hosting fewer than 20 guests. While regulation can serve a purpose, it may also lead to excessive red tape, overtaxation, and unnecessary complexity. This would risk strangling a vital part of our tourism economy, micro-entrepreneurs and community hosts. In an economy already challenged by high crime and limited formal job opportunities, we should be making it easier, not harder, for ordinary people to be part of the tourism sector. These small operators, whether they are renting a room, running a local food tour, or offering an authentic cultural stay, are symbols of resilience and vibrancy. They reflect the spirit of Jamaican hospitality for which our country is globally known. It would be advisable not to over-regulate the simple act of warm welcome. The government should not overtax the backyard room and bury local enterprise in forms and compliance costs. It is imperative to create a conducive business environment where the micro-enterprises can breathe, grow, and compete on the value and service they provide. Across the world, it's been proven that small tourism businesses foster local wealth and social mobility. In Costa Rica, family-run eco-lodges retain up to 80% of tourism income in local communities. In Thailand, village-based guest houses outperform resorts in local impact, with retention rates of 60% of the income, and in some cases higher. These aren't exceptions. They are models that Jamaica can build on. Closer to home, every dollar spent in a small guest house, cook shop, or rural excursion stays right here. It helps in creating jobs, boosting families, and building pride. In contrast, much of the money spent in large hotel chains exists the country through foreign ownership and imports. Regulations should uplift, not suffocate. A tiered, proportional approach with lighter requirements for those serving fewer than 20 guests would safeguard public interests without crippling the informal sector. Above all, let's remember, the customer, not the government, should decide who succeeds and who fails. Small enterprises will live or die by the quality of service and the value they offer, not by bureaucratic judgment or licensing hurdles. Say no to over-regulation. Say yes to opportunity. Let Jamaican hospitality continue to shine unfettered, authentic, and driven by the people. I am Conley Salmon. And those are the letters to the editor for July 21st, 2025 in the Jamaica Gleaner. What are your thoughts?